Based off of recent times, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road has to be the most bizarre release Square Enix has had for the Kingdom Hearts series. This coming right off the tails of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind of all things as well. A lot of you are aware about the approaching shutdown of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, which currently is scheduled for late June. With this shutdown, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road as well will not be available, but unlike Union Cross, which will be going into a big theater mode only app, Dark Road on the other hand is going to be returning in late September with most of its content and playable features intact. But the biggest difference is all of its story will be released in a theater mode as well. Essentially, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road is going to be coming back in September as a fully finished game. Dark Road last released episode 3 in November of 2020, so by the time it comes back later this year, it will have been just short of a year since the last update. Though waiting a year for more content or for all the content to be released at once doesn't sound too bad to me. But it's hard to imagine this was the original plan, and it does feel weird. I feel like Dark Road was actually starting off in a great way. Semi-consistent updates with more story content than your average filled Union Cross updates was quite the treat. The story was starting off and progressing quite well also. From the ending of episode 1 and looking all the way through episode 3 and being introduced to Xehanort and Ericus, additional classmate, made for some interesting points of discussion and kept me looking forward to what led Xehanort down this path. What led to Xehanort being the person we would fight in KH3. This was a story people had been wanting for ages, since before Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, but admittedly discussion ramped up when the game was in its development cycle. Though a game surrounding Ericus and a young Xehanort growing up was a common discussion. People even wanted Xehanort and Ericus opening up Kingdom Hearts 3 in a similar fashion to how Roxas did in Kingdom Hearts as sort of a prologue. Even after experiencing what many would assume to be the end of Xehanort's story in Kingdom Hearts 3, we still never got his backstory, a glimpse into that dark road he went down, until they announced this mobile game, which would do just that. Maybe not in the format people wanted, but still, we are getting it. Though Xehanort's backstory looking back at seems to have a lot more to do with the future than we ever would have realized, so it does kind of make sense in a weird way for Dark Road to be connected to Union Cross. They even kind of teased this transition in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. This interest, this discussion, this game's significance being about the main antagonist is what all contributes to the bizarreness that this game had to be shut down like this, even if temporarily. I'm happy we are getting all the story when it comes back though, which makes me believe this decision might not be as financial as we once thought. Though I have minimal way to prove that, only just a hunch. Union Cross was definitely doing numbers early on, but I would not be surprised if the game got a little hard to maintain over the years. I mean, the game has been going on since 2016, so I feel like lasting half a decade is nothing short of an accomplishment, but I have a feeling Nomura feels the same way the community feels, and that it's time to wrap things up going into the next few games. People had hoped this would be the case for Kingdom Hearts 3, but to lots of people's surprise, Kingdom Hearts 3 has very minimal to do with the direct plot of Union Cross. Rather, its subplots have a little bit more to do with it. Though even then, all you needed to understand that stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3 of Maleficent and Pete, or the epilogue, was key back cover, which is a completely different story from Union Cross, as it focuses more on the foretellers compared to our Union leaders and the data world. You definitely need some Union Cross knowledge for the secret reports though. However, this time it is clear with the epilogue, with the secret ending, with Maleficent and Pete, the secret reports that they are going to be flooding the next couple of games with Union Cross and likely Dark Road lore and story. Given the upcoming 20th anniversary next year and potentially even some teasers this year during gaming events, which I'm not expecting but is a possibility, I'm sure the writers want us to be all caught up for this story they are about to tell, which might just be what changed very recently. They probably looked at the pace Union Cross was going and looked at the pace Dark Road was going and decided to just shut down the Union Cross app completely, so that instead of micromanaging events, updates, and banners and so on to keep the game alive, that they just finished Kingdom Hearts Dark Road story and shut down both before the year ends, rather than having Dark Road last until 2022 and still be releasing updates while the other Kingdom Hearts games are in their advertisement cycles or release cycles. Being safe and knowing that KH fans are caught up with the lore of Union Cross and Dark Road for any announcements that contain spoilers or info you would need from both. Also, Kingdom Hearts in the future may be more successful under a different sort of free-to-play format as well, and they might try, or rather most likely will try something like this again in the future, which could be part of the announcement plans for next year. Dark Road gameplay wise was, from my perspective, nothing to be amazed at either. What at first seemed like a interesting gameplay system just turns into leaving your phone on with the auto button to grind for more levels or cards. The game doesn't really push you to do anything special with your cards or mechanics like Union Cross even does throughout a decent bit of its game. Rather, it's a gameplay system that kind of gets bland alarmingly fast, but the story was great though. Dark Road, for its card system, didn't even have a guaranteed, banner system, no sort of pity system for getting the cards you wanted. It did have shop points, which took a long time to get, but outside of that, there was no guaranteed way to really get the cards you wanted. The gameplay of Dark Road, just at the end of it all, just overall, I'd say was underwhelming. What seemed like a very interesting system at first just turned into something that wasn't as interesting. I do think the decision to shut down this mobile app is probably the best decision for the Cage story going forward, mostly from an accessibility standpoint and from a consumption standpoint for the audience, because keeping up with Union Cross updates or even Dark Road updates can be a little tedious. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, you already know what to do. Leave a like, share the video with a friend or family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the Union, all you have to do is hit that red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.